that Gipface has as a player. What do you think when you see someone who is 71-3 in this competition? Does that mean there's no chance for anyone to beat them when they have got that much experience and that many wins under their belt?
He's lost 3, so somebody's beat him, and all it takes is one. So, I mean, again, another sports cliche, any given Sunday, or in this case, any given Wednesday, I think Rob D has a chance, absolutely. He put it very well. He's got to execute flawlessly because Gipface clearly knows what he's doing, and if he does make a mistake, it's like a master musician. You'll never know. You'll never know. I watched some of his matches, and if he made any mistakes, it didn't dawn on me at all. He was moving his pieces very, very, very well.
Now, Norm, some of the things that are in play here when we talk about this match, something called the CO. Those are not in play. Some people wonder why no COs. Tell us a little bit about what a CO is and why we do not have them in play in this match.
A CO is a commanding officer. It's basically a character that has certain attributes that lend itself to mix the balance of the game. And as such, the balance can be held in favor of someone who's very, very versed in the game, knows all the commanding officers up and down, has unlocked them all. So then they decided to eliminate that factor, so some people who are less familiar with the game could be accepted in the tournament.
So this really is kind of a way to equalize it, make it a little more fair, because we did have people who were new to it. That was the whole idea behind the tournament. Even if you didn't own the game, you were able to get into this tournament and, of course, get a free copy of the game from Nintendo. All the competitors who made the final 16 got a free copy of the game, and then, of course, that opened it up to a lot more people. On the phone with us, we do have our world champion. Yes, it's true. He is the best in the world. He's got a record that really does say, look out. I am not kidding around. His name is David, and people know him as Gipface on the forum. But this is look, there he is. That is Gipface with Becky from Video Games Live. How you doing, Gipface? David, are you there? Oh, did we lose him? David, are you there?
Volume or something?
There we go. Nice to hear from you, David. Congratulations, by the way, on making it this far. Tell us a little bit about you and your Advance Wars experience.
Well, what do you call it? I first started the series on 9/11 because after I saw the Twin Towers after I saw the planes hit the Twin Towers, I went out and discussed it at the World. So I went to the mall and I saw Advance Wars on the shelf at the local store, video game store, and I picked it up. And the rest was history.
Now, obviously, this is not an easy game. It's not just for anyone to pick up. Real-time and turn-based strategy games are kind of a unique breed in the gaming space. But this is turn-based, and it's on the DS. It's a long history, this game. Why is it, of all the strategy games out there, why do you think that you took to this one so well?
Well, the first game had something called Advanced Campaign, and it was the hardest thing I've ever played. It took me, about 2 months to beat it straight. Because once you beat the normal campaign, there's something called Advanced Campaign, in which you are hopelessly outnumbered. Now, only the first game had a real hard campaign. The other 3 games, the next 2 games had hard campaigns, but they weren't as hard as Advanced Campaign. So, I just like really super hard games. That's why I like Trauma Center, because it had those X missions at the end, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. I just like really hard video games. And Advance Wars 1 had a really hard mode, and after that, I saw that there was a following on the internet, and that's pretty much it.
The tournament,
I started to become competitive.
The tournament was kind of a fluke for you because you initially weren't picked. It was a randomly selected 16-player bracket that you kind of got into.
That was correct.
When you first initially didn't get picked, were you a little upset because you said, well, this is going to be a tournament, that's all nice for them, but it certainly won't be a battle of the best players?
Well, yeah, I have to admit that I was a little bit disappointed because I put hours and hours into researching all the maps which were fair, all the built-in maps which were fair, and I gave all games all my suggestions, and, I knew it was going to be a crapshoot, so I didn't mind that much, but yes, I was still a little disappointed, so I just had to sign up on the waiting list and cross my fingers.
Now, David, the tournament tonight is without COs. Obviously, you're probably thinking with COs this wouldn't even last an hour. Are you okay with the notion that this game is without these COs involved?
Well, that's fun. I mean, the rest of the tournament was like that, so no COs will provide a nice challenge because it makes some units more powerful and others less so.
What about your other gaming interests? Are you, would you call yourself a shooter fan, or is it all about strategy? What about platformers?
Oh,
Rock
I'm
band?
the exact opposite of an FPS gamer. I totally suck at FPSs. Like, I have myself here a Logitech MX518. It's like one of the best gaming mice in the world, and I still suck. So, good equipment doesn't make you a better player. I kind of like all rhythm action games that are not named Rock Band or Guitar Hero, because those aren't hardcore enough. Because Rock Band and Guitar Hero actually don't have accuracy indicators at the bottom of the screen, so you don't know how good you are. You can actually press a key that's way off timing, and it'll still register as a hit. So I like stuff like Beatmania, Poppin', DJ Max, O2 Jam, games like that. And also I like puzzlers.
There you go.
Puzzlers are good too.
Now,
And I like adventure. I love Phoenix Wright. Best series of DS games ever.
Now, the grand prize here is a bunch of DSs. Who will you be giving your DSs to? Who will you be sharing them with? Because you obviously already have one. Who are some of the people that you might share the winnings with?
Well, I've got a friend named Sean, and he has a DS Lite, but his brother, Kenji, he has a DS Fat, so I'll be giving one to him.
All
And
right.
basically, we played Advance Wars since the first one, so basically, we didn't know how to play the game, so we both set funds to like 9,000. So on one end, you have everyone making medium tanks. I think my friend was the one making medium tanks, while all I made were rockets, and it was a pretty dumb match, but that was my first competitive match.
All right. Well, Norm will be calling the game. Norm, a fan of Advance Wars. Norm, any thoughts, any questions for Gipface before we begin?
Sure, I noticed that you picked Rainy Haven for the finals here. Why'd you pick that map?
Rainy Haven has all three types of units: land, sea, and air. In the earlier rounds of the tournament, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. In the earlier rounds of the tournament, the first round had a ground-only map, the second round had a ground and sea map, and the third round had a ground and air map. So I thought for the finals we would mix all three unit types in.
And what do you
before
think on
we
this map?
start,
Go ahead.
Before we start, there's actually an odd number of properties on the map, 35, which means this game will not end in a draw after day 30. Someone is going to have more properties than the other. Second player actually starts out with one extra city than the first player, but the first player has the advantage of going first. So whoever wins the coin flip to determine who goes first, or which player they want, position they want, will have a pretty tough decision.
All right.
Definitely. Now, what do you think in this particular map is going to be the main key to victory?
Well, the main key is holding the center and definitely the capture phase, because the capture phase consists of actually taking enemy properties away from the other player.
All right.
Great.
Well, quickly before we begin the game, there's a picture of you, and it is with Becky from.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that makes me look stupid because I wasn't looking at the camera. So
Tell us
lazy
how
or
that
something.
picture came about, though.
Well, basically, Video Games Live was in its first year, and they were touring the world, and they had one stop in Toronto. So I read about them online, and I read that they had an interactive gaming session where they call up someone from the audience to the stage, and they play a humanized version of Space Invaders. And the winner, and if you won, you would get a free laptop. So in order to make myself stand out from the crowd, I made that sign, "Pick me, please." And when Tommy Tallarico of Electric Playground, because he's the host, motioned the audience for a member, I screamed and I raised the sign up in the air, and he picked me
because
because I had the sign.
There it is.
And he said that I was the very first person to do that.
There it is.
Now the Space Invaders match itself was kind of crappy because there was lots of lag time Basically, I was the ship and I moved around and I had to wave my arms if I wanted to fire. But there was about a 3-second lag time, so I quickly lost, so I didn't win the laptop. But they gave me a video card as a consolation